Hey everybody, Sam Dog, the infamous 253, Brendon Nelson coming at you guys for our Week 16 preview of the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, this time in CenturyLink Field, but this time so much more is on the line. First of all, me and Brendon first want to say Merry Christmas, everybody, and wish you guys a happy holidays. And now let's get started with this. Brendon, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Sam. Thank you for having me on. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays.
Yep. We got an early Christmas gift from the Jets back on Sunday, and this is going to be huge. We have to take major advantage of this. But we got to know this Rams team is going to be coming in very pissed after blowing that game to that winless New York Jets team and all, too. And then I heard something that I don't think Cam Akers will be playing this game possibly. And then
Yeah, he will. He's out. He's out.
Quentin Dunbar's having season-ending surgery, from what I also heard too from my buddy Anish. But I really think DJ Reed lately has been stepping up pretty good for us too. But we all know the same thing. Are we going to challenge Jalen Ramsey this time with DK Metcalf? Because we know Metcalf is pissed from the last time with how the media was blowing him up, with him being shut down by Jalen Ramsey. And then is Russell going to take more shots to challenge Ramsey with DK Metcalf? And then, of course, trying to prevent Aaron Donald, as usual, who has been the bane to the Seahawks, just trying to shut him down too. So I'll let you get started first because we all know what's at stake.
Right. Well, we've gotten some not great news in the last, I'd say, about 24 hours with the Seahawks team. Some of the reinforcements we were counting on are not going to be here in time for the game. Obviously, the big one is Josh Gordon. A lot of people were very excited to see what he was going to be able to do, but he's not going. Yeah, he's not going to be taking the field, maybe ever, for this team at this point. I don't really know what to expect right now, but it doesn't look good. Quentin Dunbar, we were hoping to have him back this week. Instead, we find out that his season is done. We don't know about Brandon Shell yet, and that's certainly very significant, even though I want to say Cedric played a pretty good game against Washington last week. And Philip Dorsett still looks like he's a ways away. Darrell Taylor looks like he's at least a week away.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some unfortunate news that has come out in the last 24 hours. Yeah. We are going to get Greg Olsen back, and I must say it's looking like that may end up being rather significant. Because if you're taking a look at this Seahawks offense right now, as I am, because that's where it starts for me, this Seahawks offense is going to be putting a lot into some pass catchers who have a lot to prove.
Right.
Tyler Lockett, we're going to need a lot from him now because we're not getting Gordon back. So Lockett, who a lot of people think is playing injured and has not been very explosive lately, now we're putting a lot on him. We're going to be putting a lot on Greg Olsen, a guy who was injured for the last month and a half and just got back this week. So now we're going to be putting a ton on Greg Olsen to contribute. We're going to be putting a lot on Will Dissly, who's been very quiet all season coming off that major injury last year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stress on David Moore is another one, by the way. I want to say this too, because David Moore, he may be playing injured as well. Mm-hmm. David Moore has not been playing great lately. David Moore has not been the guy that he was in the first month plus of the season. So right away, I'm looking at this offense and I'm seeing there's a lot of stress on this offense potentially, because we all know that Rams offense has traditionally done very well against us.
Right.
And even though our defense has been playing really well lately, it makes a lot of sense to expect that Rams offense to put up points on us. So we're going to need to be able to respond to that. And we're putting a lot on some players who have a lot working against them right now, like I said. So I'm interested to see who steps up and who responds to that. Like I said, David Moore has been very hot and cold lately. Greg Olsen coming off the injury. Tyler Lockett probably out there playing injured. I'm interested to see who steps up, because even though our three running backs are now pretty much 100% healthy, or as close as we can expect, with Carson, Hyde, and Penny, I'm not really believing we can ride our running game to a victory in a game like this.
No, not against that Rams pass rush and run defense. That we all know it's tough to run the ball against the Rams. That's obvious. And then, of course, that secondary with Ramsey and then Hill and who else?
Don't forget the former Washington.
Yeah, Taylor Rapp.
Yeah, they have a good. I mean, their defense as a whole is very good. No matter how you slice it, they have a good run defense. They have a good pass rush. They have a good secondary. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Rockers, Donald.
Right. Yeah. They have a very good defense, but it's tough for me to believe we're going to be able to just ride the running attack to a victory. We need the guys on this team who make a lot of money to really perform out there today. So I'm looking at Wilson to be the driving force behind a victory on Sunday. And he's been very unreliable lately, if you're being honest. He's had some good games, but he hasn't had very many great games.
Yeah.
Had some bad games lately, too. So this is the kind of game where you can go a long way to earning your $35 million a year salary. If you go out there and perform well and win this game, then the division is locked up and you're guaranteed a home playoff game, and the opportunity to do something special in the postseason seems far more open at that point. So this is the kind of game where somebody like Wilson, who will be playing a very tough defense on Sunday, can prove that he's worth all that money by going out there and playing at a high level.
Yeah, but he can't make the stupid mistakes he made last time when he could have had that freaking easy first down run or possibly more for a touchdown, and then he throws into the freaking coverage and throws that interception when looking for one of the tight ends in the end zone. We can't have stupid mistakes like that, and then we can't have him just try to force plays like the one he tried to force, to Carson, which got batted by Sweat and intercepted by Payne last week against Washington, which we won that one pretty ugly by 5 points. And I think, we're going to have to win. We're going to have to try to win. It's most likely going to be an ugly game again, too. Ugly and close if we were to win. I expect this game to be close if it's the case, or if it goes bad, it could get pretty ugly from like it did last time we played them. I'm just hoping we don't have the ugly scenario this time around, which all comes down to Wilson cannot afford to turn the ball over.
Right.
That's the most important thing. We cannot afford to have Wilson turn the ball over. And plus, on defense, we got to do better, as usual, at trying to get off the field on third down, especially third and long, especially going up against receivers like Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. And then, of course, tight ends like Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee. And then the running back, Malcolm Brown, which thankfully it looks like Cam Akers is not going to be playing. So just we got to be able to shut down the run as usual. Malcolm Brown was still killing us last time. But we need to get pressure and force Jared Goff to make mistakes or strip him, because I know Jamal Adams had a strip last time on him, which we recovered that fumble, but we all know what happened after that. Just turnovers and protecting the ball on our offensive side of it. It's going to key big for this game.
Yeah, this Seahawks defense has been playing really well lately. In fact, in terms of points allowed, they are number one in the league, the whole league, ever since the Rams game, actually, ever since the first Rams game. So they're doing something really well right now, but this is the only real stress test we're going to get, because this is the only good offense we're playing other than maybe Arizona, that one game we beat them in. But other than that, we played Washington with their third string QB. We played the Giants with their backup QB. The Eagles, who had one of the worst offenses in the league with Carson Wentz. So, yeah, this defense, this is kind of the game where they can prove if any of that stuff that we've seen over the last month and a half is for real. And if they don't perform, then everybody, including myself, is going to just assume that a lot of the good defensive performance lately is a mirage. Because at the end of the day, how valuable is it that you were able to shut down an offense led by Colt McCoy or Dwayne Haskins or Carson Wentz? You're not going to be playing guys like that in the playoffs, probably. You're going to be playing better QBs and better offenses and better teams.
Exactly.
So I do believe in this pass rush. I think this pass rush has come a long way since the first time we played the Rams. I think that we should have a pretty full arsenal of players, and we may even add Brian Monet to the mix, because it sounds like he's going to be able to practice this week and may be able to go. And I've been telling people that matters, because one thing with this defense lately, sorry about that, Jerron Reed's playing too many snaps.
Yeah.
So a guy like Brian Monet can take a little bit of the load off of him, maybe 10, 12 snaps a game. That's significant. So to me, I'm looking at stuff like that, because I don't really think our secondary can keep up with their receivers. Our secondary has really not been able to keep up with any receivers for a lot of this season. It's going to come down to what we get from the pass rush. I trust our run defense to hold up in a game like this, especially without Cam Akers out there. I believe the Rams are also missing their stud left tackle, Whitworth, still.
Yeah.
That's significant because they had him when the first time we played. So, yeah, I think it's just going to basically come down to that. Dunlap's 100%. And this is another good example, Jerron Reed. This is a season that I've been pretty disappointed in Jerron Reed. I don't think he's played very well. I don't think he's done a good job earning that contract extension we gave him. But games like this, you can earn a lot of that money with a few big plays. So I feel pretty good about this one. I would feel a lot better if we had guys like Josh Gordon and Quentin Dunbar ready to go. But everything's in front of us. This Rams team just lost to the Jets at home, so don't tell me they're invincible. Don't tell me they're impossible to beat.
Exactly. I listened to what you were mentioning in your live stream. I went to that, fast forwarded to that part to see your reaction about that too, because I had a pretty crazy reaction to it too. But I was listening to your point about look at what we did to the Jets and look at what the Jets just did to them.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's going to make this game easy, but the point
No.
is, with everything on the line, this is a game you should be able to go out there and find a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, we know we can beat them. We know exactly that we can beat these teams, that we can beat them. Just which version is going to come out. And plus now it should extra motivate this team. It should extra motivate the Seahawks, knowing that now we have a chance to potentially win the division by beating these guys and just wrap it up, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
and then also try to take care of business to try to get a higher seeding in the playoffs the following week if we take care of business against
Or
Rams.
if things don't go our way the next couple of weeks in some of these other games, not involving the Seahawks directly, it opens up the opportunity for a week 17 where there's nothing at stake and you can rest starters. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at some players on this team that could use the week off. I'm looking at guys like Tyler Lockett, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Dwayne Brown, Mike Upati. I think there are a lot of, maybe even Russell Wilson, you would say. A
Yeah.
lot of players could use
A week off.
a week off. So that's also on the table. If you go out there, win this game, and then the Packers and Saints take care of their business, by the time our game kicks off, we're going to know that we have nothing to play for, and we may act accordingly because of that. So at least it'll be an option open to the team. I personally think that kind of stuff is valuable. I personally think taking time off is valuable, especially to a team with this many veterans, because I truly believe Bobby Wagner is wearing down as the season has gone on. I don't think he played good against Washington. I don't think I think he's running out of gas. So I think a week off could make all the difference for a guy like that.
And maybe a week off for Jamal Adams.
Maybe Jamal Adams too, although he's a much younger player and he's somebody who kind of just goes at 100% all the time. So not so much him. I'm more thinking about the guys on this team who are 31, 32, or even older than that. Like, look at Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen kind of just took the last month and a half off because of the injury, but even a guy like him, every game, every snap he takes matters because there's just not a lot of mileage left on those legs.
Yeah.
So I'm mindful of stuff like that too, but let's take this one at a time. And the first step will be just going out there and winning this game. I think we can do it. I think we would have beaten the Rams in LA if Wilson had just played an okay game. So maybe this is finally the game where Pete and Ken Norton start to figure out that Rams offense a little bit, because we all know that he's never really been able to figure out that Rams offense. Maybe now that he has a full season of Jamal Adams, most of a full season of Carlos Dunlap, maybe we finally have something that can slow him down.
Yeah, and that would be a good thing indeed, because we got to be able to slow down Aaron Donald and everyone else.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like if you look back at that week, that game in LA where we already played the Rams, we didn't even have Ethan Posick in that game. We didn't have Shaq Griffin in that game, and we still hung tough with them. It was not a blowout. That game was a competitive game into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Whew. So just gotta bring it this week. Bring it heavy and try to wrap it up. And if anything else goes our way, then try to go for that high seeding. And did we pretty much cover everything now?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Make sure you guys also subscribe to Brendon Nelson. Check him out. He'll probably be streaming again tonight. He's streaming some fun games that he likes to play. And then also make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new. Hit the like button and ring the bell for notifications. And well, this is it. Do or die. Got a chance to win the division. Let's hopefully go out there and let's get it. And and
By the way, I will be doing, if we beat the Rams and have nothing to play for in week 17, I will be doing a live stream of the week 17 game against the 49ers. So that's something to watch out for as well. That's also at stake this week, I guess you could say.
yeah, you heard the man. And then also I'll probably be watching that game at a friend's house. But anyway, we're going to go out, sign off here. Everyone have a safe and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And if you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.